Hey, welcome to Chaplain Chat. One of the joys I get to do on Chaplain Chat is to do interviews, and this is cool. I could do Zoom interviews. Grace, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, and actually, you live in Washington. And
Actually, I live in Oregon. I met you in Washington.
oh, my bad. Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, but Grace and I last week we went to visit our daughter Erica. You know Erica, and our
Mhm.
son Andrew. I don't know if you know Andrew, but we went to visit them, and Erica had a special event. We went to Thursday night. Yeah, it was Thursday night, and there's a special retreat called the Journey. Is that what they still call it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's for the middle school and high school and young
Yes.
adult. Mhm.
And this is the first time. And a journey takes place in a church, and it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And there's a girls' journey, and then there's a boys' journey. Now, we met at the boys' journey.
Mhm.
My daughter, she directed the girls' journey. And this is the first time they did one for seventh and eighth grade kids. Gail
Mhm.
had seventh and eighth grade girls. You were I guess a cook or something in background.
Yes, I was in the background helping in the kitchen.
Yeah, and uh, and that was the boys. And wow, we've normally had them for high school kids, college kids, of course, adults. We call it a walk to Emmaus, and it's really a power. And it's I guess it's kind of like a camp, but sometimes I think it's more than a camp.
Mhm.
I think this is a real discipleship
Yep.
training event. So anyway, so we met at that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
And you knew, and we got to talking. You knew Erica. Of course, I'm just gabbing with anybody that knows Erica. And then you said something. You said, I'm a health coach. And I go, and then you shared a bit,
Mhm.
but Grace, great name, by the way, Grace.
Thank you.
What the heck is a health coach?
Well, a health coach is someone that we find out what a person is looking for in their health journey. And our job is to guide them and taking them from point A to point B, where they are right now, to where they really want to be in their health journey. And that can look differently for people. A lot of times it starts with physical, like weight, but it could also be like they went off medications, or they want to learn how to respond to stress in a healthy way, or find people around them that want to be healthy. And so we have quite a few different components of our program. So that's what we can
Grace,
help them.
I just thought it was physical weight stuff. You just
Yeah.
told me there's a whole bunch of other things we need a
Oh,
health coach
yes.
for. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Okay, keep going.
Well, yeah, one of the things that we in our culture, a lot of times we think our physical health is really all that health is about, but there's so much more to it. Like if you're struggling financially, that causes emotional stress and it causes physical stress, because what happens if we don't know how to respond to stress in a healthy way? We cope with food. And so a lot of times it can lead to weight problems, other health issues. And it kind of
Does it
goes.
lead to a bald spot?
I don't know
Okay,
if I can help with that one.
okay, okay.
But yeah, so like I noticed in my life, I used to think it was like four separate components. Like you have your physical health, you have your emotional health, your spiritual health, and your financial health. I thought it was four different things. And I didn't realize how much that my physical struggle had so much to do with my emotional mismanagement, my spiritual walk, and financial strain. So all of them are definitely connected.
Wow. No, keep going. This is great. I'm so yes.
So
Um,
yeah,
okay, so how did you get involved in this?
and my husband actually found this program for me. So I have struggled with weight all my life. Um, I had a trauma thing that happened when I was in middle school that really skewed my perspective on who I am. Is very common and to people. So I grew up in a Christian home, and in the church and everything. But for some reason, if you had asked me, Grace, do you think you're beautiful? I would have said, well, I think you're beautiful and God has a purpose for you. But I didn't truly believe it for myself because of that pain that I just shoved down. And so I didn't know this at the time, now I can look back and see this, where I didn't know what to do with that pain. I didn't even know I was feeling that pain because I hid it so well, even from
My
myself
Lord, you had that since middle school.
since middle school.
That
And so, yeah, and so I would cope with food, and I would listen to what the American culture says, exercise your butt off and eat whatever you want. And so I would listen to that. And so I would eat whatever I wanted, exercise like crazy. Eventually that caught up, and neither of those were the solution to deal with that pain that was going on inside. But what it led to, because of that mismanagement, jump ahead to years later, I mean, amazing guy, I get married, we get pregnant right away.
you know what,
After
Grace,
that time,
Grace, I
yeah,
want to, it's something, and I want to meet your husband someday. He saw that in you. I mean, obviously,
mhm,
you were attractive, but he saw something in you that you didn't even see in yourself.
exactly.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, that was the turning point. Jump ahead. We had our first child, and I gained weight from that. I was 100 pounds overweight. Um, God had started some healing before I met my husband, but, then we got pregnant right away. I gained more weight back. And so that lie I've been believing all my life came flooding back, to the point that, because all I would look in the mirror and I would see this outward heavy weight. That's all I could see was the weight. Even though I knew it wasn't the truth, I went back to believing that lie, that that weight defined me, even though I knew that's not what God says. Um, Point was, one day I walked into our bedroom and apologized to my husband for not being beautiful. And any good husband, that's going to break their heart. And so John was like, we need to find
John,
something.
okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know
And
that.
another
All
time.
right. Good name.
And he went to it the next week. This is how fast God can work. The next week, he got invited to a business meeting about lawn care. It wasn't even for health, but there was a health coach there who was visiting that day. And after the meeting, my husband asked him, he said, can you come talk to my wife? And so that coach came over. His name was Don. He came over and he shared this program with me. And I'm like, yeah, well, I've tried other things. That's not going to work. But I was in shock. It actually worked. I lost 100 pounds. And what I didn't know was that weight was, by choosing to do something about the weight, it opened the door for healing in areas I didn't even know needed to heal. And so I learned emotional management. I learned how to respond to stress in a healthy way. I learned to actually cook healthy, how to take care of myself, how to listen to my body. And I started surrounding myself with other like-minded people, which has changed the direction of our life. And here I am. September will be 17 years since I started my journey. And
Great, Grace, I have
yep,
to, people probably saw me went like this. My wife just came in and eventually she's going to sit down. You won't be able
yeah,
to see her and listen to this interviews. That's why I went. Anyway,
yeah,
keep going.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah. So I lost 100 pounds. That opened the door for learning how to respond to stress in a healthy way. I learned emotional management, how to identify what I was feeling and how to use it for good. Um, and so I didn't know when I started this program that I just thought I was starting to lose weight. I had no idea the door it would open. And so now I've been on my journey for 17 years. I reached my healthy weight in a year and 8 months. Results vary. But since then, it's been learning how to continue growing, to continue listening to my body, or my body, continue listening to the emotions, and instead of letting emotions lead me, I learned how to use them for good. I believe now that God gave us emotions as signals to let us know there's something going on that's out of alignment with how he sees you. And so it's really taught me a lot of how to see myself the way that God sees me, the way my husband sees me, the way other people that care about me see me. And so it's been a lifelong journey, and it changed my life so much. I started helping other people do that. Like within the first month, I could see this was different than anything I had ever experienced. And so I started ministering to people through coaching 16 years
So
now.
you're a health coach now.
Mhm.
Um,
Yes.
how did you go through a course or something to be a health coach? Or
No, it's quite an amazing program because they were pretty smart in realizing we have a huge need in our world of people that need help in learning how to live healthy. And so no, I did not have to go to college. We were trained on how to support our clients and guide them, but
When you
we
say,
had
when you say they, who are they?
okay. The company is Optavia. It's a health plan, a health program,
Okay,
and
I forgot to, oh no, I do. Could you just spell that for me?
OPTAV,
O, wait a minute,
OPTVIA. It actually means optimal way.
okay, thank you. Keep going, keep going.
Mhm. So this program, what they did was we have doctors and nutritionists and behavioralists that actually work with us, and we can guide our clients to those for free. But our job as coaches is to be that guide, the support, to listen to what they're going through, what their situation is, and guide them to the support that they need. So for example, we have a book called The Habits of Health Transformation System. So that book is like a book study they go through at their own pace. And as I'm meeting with them, I connect with them every week during that weight loss stage, and I'm listening for cues. Like if they say something like, man, I just had a very emotional week, or had some emotional eating this week. And I'm like, can we talk about that? And I point them to a part in that life book that's going to help them learn how to navigate through those emotions in a healthy way.
So they get a book that,
Mhm.
the life book you mentioned.
Mhm.
Okay, go ahead, keep
Yeah.
going. Yeah.
So that I always have my clients get that on the first order, because that is the thing that differentiates us from any health program out there. A lot of programs, they give you the food and nutrition, but they don't teach you how to transform your mind. And so if you don't transform your mind, it's going to be short-lived, and you'll probably go back to old habits. And so I needed something that would transform my mind, that would teach me how to live healthy, how to think healthy, how to continue staying healthy and working on creating even more health in my life. And I never had something like that. Especially for free. Like the company pays us for taking care of the clients. The clients never pay us a dime. And so to be able to support someone for as long as they want me in their life without them ever paying me a dime, that was unheard of. And I wanted more of that. That changed my life, to know my coaches are still my coaches to this day. Um, and to know that I can offer that to someone else to help them see themselves the way God sees them. That's what I wanted.
Now, there is a service you offer
Mhm.
that we pay for. But once we do that service, we have you as a coach. They have you as a coach forever.
Yeah. So whatever, we have a few different plans that can help you get healthy. Some people have a lot of weight to lose, so they'll do one plan for weight loss. There's another plan for when you get to your healthy weight that just teaches you how to continue taking care of yourself and listening to your body. So some people actually start there. They're already at a healthy weight, but they don't know how to manage stress in a healthy way. And so they might use some of those, we call them fuelings. They might use some of those fuelings for in between main meals, where someone in the weight loss, they're going to use those fuelings more often. But my job is to listen to what that person needs and guide them in that. So I actually get paid from the company a percentage of what my clients order.
Oh,
But this
okay.
was so that's how I get paid.
Okay,
Not
got
from the client, it's a percentage of what they order.
very good.
But
Yeah.
I wanted to, essentially, my goal is to work myself out of a job with that client. I want them to get to their goal so they can be healthy, but I'm also teaching them throughout the process how to live healthy, how to think healthy. And then when they get to their goal, we slowly take them off the fuelings, replacing it with healthy foods. I guide them through that stage too. And then we stay connected however often they want, because my goal is that they stay healthy long term. That's what I wanted. Definitely don't want anyone to have to experience gaining weight back. That's devastating. And so that's something I get to offer, because I get to coach them for free. It allows me to be able to do that, to still stay connected as long as they want.
Okay. You can only be a coach if you see them physically, right?
Nope.
No.
Nope. I get to work with clients all over the States. The way I support them is phone. I'll usually like send a health focused text every week, And then say what time, when can we get on the phone? And so sometimes we schedule time, sometimes they'll tell me every week, like this day works good.
Or
Those
Zoom.
those
You do,
calls, yeah, sometimes we'll do Zoom.
of course,
Um,
I like seeing people. Yeah.
yeah. And so it really depends on I even have some people do Marco Polo with me. It's really what works good for them. But I have found if I just text, it's easy to overlook some things that really could help them move forward. So my goal is to connect with them weekly, either on phone or Zoom. Sometimes in person if they're local, but I work with clients all over. We actually are in Singapore and Hong Kong now as well. And they're working on being more international than that. So
Wow.
pretty cool.
Okay, if people want to connect with you, find out more about how to connect with the program, how in the heck do they do that?
There's a few options. I am on Facebook. So you can find me on Facebook. Just Grace Parks. There's lots of Grace Parks. And so type in Grace L Parks, but you can find me on Facebook. You can email me or your phone number, and I'll share those with you so you can put them in the comments. The biggest thing I want to emphasize is everybody's situation is a little different. And so I want to make sure I'm guiding and supporting you in a way that works best for you and is going to help you move from point A to point B. So I start with having a health conversation to ask some questions about, tell me about your life. What are you looking for? Why is getting healthy important to you? And then I know how to guide you to the right plan and be able to support you effectively long term.
Grace, it's interesting. When I got back with you and we did just a casual Zoom to get to know each other, that's exactly what you asked him. You said, John, tell me something about yourself.
Yeah.
And wow, how cool. And then I think eventually I got around, because I love talking about me. I think eventually I got around to want to hear more about you. But that's what you were doing. That is so powerful. Is there anything else, faith-wise or whatever, you'd like to share? I mean, this has been fantastic.
I think something that seems to kind of be a hot point in our culture is to accept yourself the way you are. So if God made you big, accept that. If God made you small, accept that. Yes, I do believe God wants you to accept yourself the way he created you. I also believe that God wants you to live your healthiest life. And I've seen so many times, myself included, where God is calling me to something, but because of my insecurity of like, what are people going to think, or my physical limitations because of my health, I'm not able to step into that thing that God's called me to. And so I've seen that over 16 years of coaching. I've seen that over and over, where someone, when they start feeling better, which happens pretty fast, when they start feeling better, they start stepping into more of the things that God designed them for. And so as far as that, I didn't even mean to go there, but as far as that perspective of just, be the way you are, I do believe that God called us to take care of ourselves, not because we have to be perfect, but instead because he's called all of us to a purpose, for a purpose. And anything that can hold us back from fully stepping into that keeps us from getting to see what God wants to do in and through us. And so I challenge you, if you're listening to this today and there is something that is holding you back from really being that person that God's called you to be and being able to enjoy it and love it, then ask yourself, what is it that's holding me back? And do I want to be able to be fully present and alive in what God has called me to do?
Grace, thank you.
You're welcome.
This is so rich. And folks, I want to thank you for being on Chaplain Chat.